All right, this is question 61 from the final review, and we are going to write an equation in slope-intercept form, if possible, of the line through the pair of points. So this is the pair of points, and slope-intercept form means what we've been working with all along, and that is the y equals mx plus b. They're talking about slope-intercept form as opposed to what is called standard form. We didn't go over the standard form in this course. So with 2 points, most of you know at this point, you can find a slope because in order to create a linear equation for these 2 points, or find the equation for the line that these 2 points are on, because all lines are made of points. So these 2 points are on a line, and we're going to find the equation for that line. All right? And to do that, and I've said this before, but we have to create an equation where we have a y, and we're going to have a number put in for a slope. We're still going to have x by itself, and then we're going to have a number put in for b. Our final equation will look like this when it's done. Not with these numbers. I'm just making up numbers right now. But it will not have a b and it won't have an m, because those 2 letters will be replaced by numbers, and those are the numbers we have to find using this information. So we know we can find m. Let's just cross that. We can find m, the slope between 2 points, using the equation for slope. And as I mentioned in the other video, the reason these little subscripts are there is because we have to label the points. Point 1 and point 2, so we know which is which, and we don't get messed up on our equation. If this is x and y, and this is x and y, this is x of the first point, and this is x of the second point. So the first x goes here, and the x of the second point goes here. That's how you fill in this equation, and that's why they have those subscripts. So let's fill in the numbers. Y of the second point is -4. And we're going to do that, and we have to keep the minus sign, and then y of the first point is 0. So this y1 is the y of the first point. We're going to divide that by x of the second point, which is 5, minus x of the first point, which is -2. So remember, it's important that you keep track of a minus minus. Okay, so -4 minus 0 is just good. You are not subtracting anything, so it's just going to end up the same number. And this, we have to remember our integer rules, which is add the opposite. So you come up with 7. And we have a slope of -7/4. That will be our m. The other part of the equation that we have to figure out is b. Well, that's the y-intercept. Now, don't be fooled. This is not the y-intercept right here. When y equals 0, remember, when y equals 0, that's when you have the x-intercept, not the y-intercept. So what we're looking at right there is the x-intercept. And I will definitely be going over those concepts in other videos. So how do we find the y-intercept if one of these points is not the y-intercept? It's not just any y. A -4 is not the y-intercept. Y-intercept is when x equals 0. We can calculate the y-intercept by plugging in values for all these variables and solving for the b. That's our little way of doing this. Because we found m already, so we have that. And you're thinking, well, where are we going to get x and y? Well, x and y, remember, are points. we can use either one of these points to plug into our equation. And I'm going to use this first point because it has a 0 in it, and that'll keep things easy. So, when we have y equal to 0 equals negative 4/7 times the x of negative 2. Okay, so what I did is I plugged y equals mx. I'm going to plug in a b, which is I don't know the b. And now I have numbers in all these spots. So I'm going to multiply negative 4/7 times negative 2/1. And that will give me an 8/7 plus b. We still have that. So let's clean this up a little bit. This multiplication is 8/7. And we still have a plus b. And we still have an equal. And we have a 0. So now if we subtract negative, we have negative 8/7. Or 0 minus 8/7 equals b, because we're subtracting negative 8/7. We're subtracting 8/7 from both sides. So b equals negative 8/7. Okay, so this piece here, what we did is we plugged in the values, the x, the m, and the y. I multiplied negative 4/7 times negative 2. That's right here. And that equals 8/7. So I still had this b, so I added the b, and I still had this 0, so I brought down the 0, brought down the b, and then I subtracted 8/7 from both sides. And that, it gets too squishy here. So I have to look at it up here. So that's like saying 0 minus 8/7 equals 8/7 minus 8/7. And it doesn't matter. When you subtract something from itself, it always equals 0. And that's plus b. So once I subtracted once I subtracted 8/7 from both sides, this just goes away. I have, negative 8/7 equals b. Because this goes away, the negative stays there. So that is our solution for b.